fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he go live before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS Bachelor. Good as it gets. Bit a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but that might be a trick. Logged in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS Sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS Bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor. Very happy to be back. It's been a very busy few weeks. I've had the ex-wife's family in town visiting my son and huge parties. My sister is actually still here with my nephews. Oddly enough, she's more exhausting than the nephews. I'm telling you what, she has a plan for everything. She runs me ragged. So I do apologize for the little delay off. But of course, we're talking League of Legends. We're going to talk the LPL LCK slate that occurs technically on July 8th. It'll be late tonight. And when we talk League of Legends, it would be foolish if we did not have Mike with us, of course. How was your 4th of July weekend, brother?
It was pretty good. A couple of patrons won a lot of money. And then otherwise, I mean, just random 4th of July stuff. It was really weird, like really hot in New Jersey. So that was kind of like oppressive. But yeah.
Yeah,
had a good weekend.
Good. I had a great weekend too. I probably threw a bigger party than I was supposed to throw, but we had a fantastic time. Cheers to you all. I hope you all had a happy, safe 4th of July weekend. And thank you all for all of you who are still sticking around even after the little break. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate all of that. Don't forget to check out Mike's channel. He's just talking about people had a great weekend. There's nobody that I know that knows more about League of Legends than the young man sitting to my left, I guess it is on your screen on the right. So be sure to check that out. There'll be links for that.
I'm certainly sitting here.
Yeah, he's certainly sitting here. He is here with the mustache and the beard. I just, look at him looking all dapper. So check that out. All the links for that are in the video description below. Our Twitter feeds are down there, starting lineups, etc. As usual with the Korean games, like the first one, we'll find out about sometime. We haven't even, a lot of times lately, they haven't had the starting lineups for that. They'll come out like a minute or two before or something.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit difficult. So there's always risk there. Of course, the Chinese leagues, the LPL league, those starters come out much earlier, and those will be on our Twitter pages. So be sure to check that out at DFS Bachelor, at League of Items. We're just a few short weeks away from NBA, WNBA. So we'll have DFS content here, of course, like all in the years past. Dion and I will be doing a bunch of WNBA stuff. And then Sportsbook Review. Once NFL gets kicking, Donnie Rightside and I will be over there at Sportsbook Review as well, covering handicapping the NFL this year. So lots of stuff. Hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. Leave a comment. Like the video. That helps us out as well. Again, cheers to you all. I need one more drink because it's going to be another busy day once my sister and my mom get back. I'm sure they'll come barging in and cause some chaos. So that's what they do.
Well, as you take your drink, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to start doing golf this week on my channel. So I've been caddying for a couple of years off and on, and I have a couple guys in my office that were like assistant pros and like are scratch golfers, and we all talk golf all the time. So figured might as well get one of them on the channel and try that out. So
nice.
We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see.
I love it. I might be happy to jump on a golf thing or two as well. I play DFS golf. I do pretty well. So maybe we'll get something going there too. Going to start getting busy. Everything's going to be starting at once, hopefully. We'll have to see how the world turns. But right now it looks like that's what's going to happen. Anything else before we get into these games? Did I forget anything?
Nope. Let's try to get through these ones.
Let's bust it out. So we got a 4-game slate, thank goodness, with some LCK. The first game is the LCK game, Dragon X and KT Rolster. Right now Dragon X is the second most expensive team, according to their players on DraftKings.
Yep.
I do like Dragon X a lot. Dragon X, I've had a lot of success just this year. My biggest win so far and my closest big win, I think it was right after the last video that we did where I woke up to 40 messages telling me I won $25,000. I was all alone in first place with I only made one lineup too. And then one team fight. Gen G, and I think it was Dragon X and Gen G. It dropped me down just a little bit, but it was pretty exciting 15 minutes anyways because I'd only made one lineup, you know?
Yeah.
So
unlucky.
unlucky.
Everybody was like messaging, and like I knew that the game was like still going on, so I'm like, why is everybody freaking out right now? Like you're
Yeah.
like this, it's not over. Like relax, and then yeah, just it fell
I
apart.
didn't know. I was asleep. I woke up to all of these messages. So I'm like, oh, well, they must be watching it. So why would I
Yeah.
have any reason to think that? And then all of a sudden, about 15 minutes in, oh, wait, there's a game going. I'm like, son of
Yeah,
a
I know
bitch.
exactly. The only thing worse than getting like beat by a game not played bonus, or not getting, the only thing worse than like a live scoring a scoring change after the game ends is thinking that the game is over
Yes.
and then it's not over. Like when
Yes.
I lost the money with Misfits against Fnatic or whatever. But okay, DRX versus KT. So we should have these rosters before the match starts. And for DRX, it's like 99% that they're going to run the same lineup they've been using all split.
Right.
Like they're most likely not going to play quad, but theoretically they could. They're undefeated right now, so I don't see them really mixing it up.
Yeah.
The real question is with KT. So I would expect KT to play Smeb, Bono, Aiming, Tucson. That's generally who they run out there.
Right.
DRX is like in the ESPN power rankings, which I made a reaction video to last night because they're so awful. Like they're the worst rankings you've ever seen in your entire life. So like every time they release an article, I release a video just shitting on it.
Nice.
So you can find that on my channel later today. I'm going to upload that soon. But like you got to see the writing in their article. It's so bad. Like the sentences and the sentence structure, the grammar, it's all horrible. And I have a English background, so I'm pretty bad about that kind of stuff.
You're a grammar snob?
Yeah, I was going to say a different word, but yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
didn't want to because you know the world that we live in now.
we have
But
to be
basically, DRX is a huge favorite, and they should be.
Yeah.
So they're minus 667. This match isn't super interesting. DRX is very expensive. So far, this split, Chovy and Deft have both been insane.
Yeah.
Chovy, like when you watch Chovy go off in a game, he's more likely to have a ridiculous number of kills that are flashier, but Deft is right there as well. So I don't think there's a huge advantage to be played one over the other. I would probably just try to get exposure to both of them, thinking that this has the best chance of going 2-0
Right.
of any of the matches tonight.
Right.
So the other three contests are like significantly closer in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much more to say about this one. If KT is able to pull off a victory, I think it would be similar to how they beat Gen G last season at the end of the split. So basically they had like a really interesting pick ban and like all in around a dragon fight early in the game, and it just snowballed out of control, and they managed to win one or two games like that. So that's the only way I see KT winning.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And again, I've been doing a little bit different stuff to make my lineup unique. Like that day where I was all by myself and I had a great score. Most people now have gotten hip to the idea that you want to take two teams are going to win, do a 3-4 stack or a 4-3 stack. So I've been doing a lot of, 3-2-1s, 2-2, trying to pick the 4 teams who are going to win, try to get a little bit different that way.
Yeah.
Because if you are, let's say you're going to stack Dragon X and Invictus Gaming, who are the two biggest favorites by far on this slate, you're going to have to put a jungler or a support in the captain spot. So I suppose if you're doing that, I do think Piosik is one of those junglers you could put there. He does have some decent upside. He can sometimes be sort of the driving force behind that team. Dragon X has just been on a roll, and all of their players are scoring a ton of points. So maybe some Piosik at the captain spot would be one thing that I could see doing to create enough space to stack the teams that I want to stack.
Yeah, I could see that.
So,
basically, so just to speak to that real quick. So the reason why you would potentially have to do that is if the two highest scoring teams on the slate are DRX and Invictus Gaming.
Right.
So like if the salaries force you to go in that direction, that's really when it's going to have the best chance to go off. So
Right.
I do think that Piosik has a chance, but it depends on how you think all 4 games are going to go.
Exactly.
For like construction. So let's go. So do you want to do the second game in Korea or do you want to go to China?
Which way do you want to do it? I'm fine either way.
Yeah, let's just do the second Korean match. So, Sandbox against Hanwha Life.
Ugh, shoot
This
me
is
in the
a,
face.
this
Shoot
is
me.
this is very interesting. I think for real life reasons, I think it's going to be a fun match to watch because they're two bottom of the table teams, and I think that a lot of people are going to want to pick Sandbox because now they have Yamato Cannon, they have a new coach, blah blah blah. It's just like I hate that so much. Anybody who watches like the videos on my channel or my stream has heard me talking about the like inevitable Yamato Cannon thing, and they all just think that I just hate this guy for no reason. But it's just like I don't hate him. I hate the narratives that are surrounding him right now because it's inevitable that some stupid narrative is going to be correct. Like there are like
Right.
100 narratives with this guy.
Sure.
So like it just the impending doom of people like talking about it to me is what's freaking me out about it. So yeah, Sandbox right now is a minus 175 favorite. That's 64% roughly. I definitely am looking at Hanwha Life as a value pick for a bet. The problem is that on DraftKings, I think both sides are live, and it's going to be super difficult to project like who's going to play, who's going to win, all of these things. So let's just go lane by lane.
Yeah.
So Summit, I think Yamato Cannon is the kind of coach that's just going to run the same players out there because he like if it's not broken, don't fix it. So they won their last match. They'll probably just run the same thing out there. I don't see him tinkering too much. So I think he's going to go with Summit on Fleek. I believe Fate played last match. Let me just check that. Yeah, Fate played last time.
Yeah, see, that's a spot for Sandbox. Like the Fate Dove thing, I just won't touch it. That's just, I have no, I won't play either one. Well, first of all, I would never play Sandbox. I don't care if Sandbox is playing me. If it's like Sandbox 5-on-1 versus DFS Bachelor, I'm playing myself in DraftKings because Sandbox fucking suck. They're terrible. But those things like that, like you just talked about, the Fate Dove thing, just don't touch it. I see it all the time on Twitter. Like, my night is ruined because the late Korean team didn't play that. Well, if they have a sub there and they've played before, don't touch it. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. I think with Yamato Cannon, I think for at least this match, you're probably safe because Fate did play the last one, Root played the last one, and then Gorilla played the last one. So, I'm not as afraid as I normally would be, but you're right. There is the sub risk that you kind of have to take into consideration. For Hanwha Life, top lane is the mystery. We don't know who's going to play. It could be Dudu. It could be Juve.
Let's hope it's Dudu. Let's get some Dudu in there because he is Dudu. The whole team's Dudu.
Cad and Haru are the only two junglers that have played. It's just a tough situation. It's tough to put either of them in your lineup with the sub risk.
Right.
And then Lava against Miru, they have both looked horrible at different points in this split, so they scare the shit out of me. I guess theoretically, if they win 2-0, they have the upside to get there.
Right.
But like if I have a perfect lineup going into the last match, and it's like, oh well, I have the wrong mid laner, then I'm just gonna want to shoot myself in the face.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I would probably do like one of each. If I'm playing Hanwha Life and I'm afraid of the sub risk, then I might just put in two lineups into a smaller contest.
Right.
And then Viper is obviously the AD carry, and Lehens is going to be the support. If they bring in Vista, then I will swear off of Hanwha Life for the rest of the split. Because that once they start doing stuff like that, that's when you lose me forever.
Right.
So like I said, I think Hanwha Life is the better real life bet. I don't necessarily think that they're going to win, but when the sportsbook has it at 64% to Sandbox, 43% to Hanwha Life, I think in reality it's like a 50-50.
Yeah.
And it might even be 55-45 the opposite direction. So you're getting somewhere between 7 to 12 points of value, unless you think it's a 55-45.
Right.
With Sandbox being the favorite. So I do like that spot. Like I said, it's going to be pretty
This is like that South Park season, the turd sandwich versus the whatever, the crap salad or whatever the hell it was. This is it right here. Honest to God, the only player from this game who I will consider having in a lineup is Viper. That is the only one.
Yep.
I know he'll play. I know he won't. Maybe Lehens, I guess, if I'm that desperate for it. But I just think you can get the salary savings. Like, I just talked about like a 3-2-1, like something unique. You could put Viper in your captain spot. Hope they win and play well, and then that frees up salary to put Invictus Gaming, Dragon X in your lineup. Something like that is what I would consider.
I think the way to look at Viper is as like a late night hammer.
Right, exactly.
So like in basketball, when you have that guy in the 10 o'clock games, that you can kind of just hope that he goes off.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that in League of Legends, as opposed to in like the NBA, for that to hit and for the stack to not hit, I think you kind of need it to be Hanwha Life winning 2-1 or even losing 1-2, and for some reason Viper's the highest scoring player. Because otherwise the stack is going to get up there pretty close.
Sure.
So yeah, but yeah, I agree with that.
It's just something different because that's how you stand alone. That's how you get is doing something different because pretty much the DFS world has figured out 3-4-4-3, pick 2 teams.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
I know. Yeah, we did all that. We did, and but so now trying to differ it up a little bit and be by yourself is also the title of your sex tape. It's your lonely sex tape. But
yeah. So the last thing I would say about this match is that if Viper wins somebody a tournament tonight and it's not me, I'm gonna be furious.
Yep. Well, he'll be in my lineups. I'll have him in something. For sure. Especially now that I said it. So I might have jinxed him and it might be fucking over for good. Who knows? We will see. So our first LPL game, LNG and Victory 5. A much different Victory 5 this year. They have not been the worst team. That's reserved for our next one, Billy Gaming. But I believe V5 is the favorite.
Yeah, V5 is the favorite, yeah.
They're the favorite. And it's hard for me to pick LNG. They just haven't have they even won any? Oh yeah, they beat FPX early in the year, but since then, I mean, they lost 0-2 to Billy Gaming. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I mean, since the last time we made a video, Billy Gaming has been getting a lot better because, like, remember how we were talking about the controversy about their jungler and their mid laner,
right?
Like how somebody like disrespected a woman or something, and it like pissed the other guy off.
Mm-hmm.
So Meteor is back in the jungle for Billy Gaming, and he is a significant upgrade over their other jungler that they used to have. So they do look. Billy Gaming does look a lot better.
Right.
So I don't really care as much about the LNG losing to them. What I would say about this matchup, it's V5 is an 80% favorite, so minus 417 to 293.
Wow.
I like V5. I love. Have you heard me calling them the Big Dick bot lane?
Yeah, with PP God, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, PP God and Sandy, yeah. So the Big Dick bot lane, like, you can't not root for that team. But at the same time, I do think that LNG are like better than the odds that are being given to us.
Yeah.
So I would definitely look for real life bets on LNG in like game 1 and game 2. And then depending on how they look in game 1 and game 2, maybe you get a game 3 bet in too. Because like betting the match itself is pretty tough. I think for Draftkings purposes, this isn't the V5 from last split where we think LNG has gigantic upside against V5, even in a victory.
Right.
So that's kind of what scares me. I think that V5 has shown that they're willing to play a low kill score game, and it would require LNG to not only win but force the issue on V5 and like compel V5 to fight them,
right,
which seems pretty unlikely. So for DraftKings, I think that most players will try to get exposure to V5,
mm-hmm.
And LNG is going to be very low owned. So I think
right.
that if you want to try to get different, I could see LNG making its way into some lineups. You would just need to. It's a low percentage outcome, but
right.
You know, there are a lot of players out there who aren't afraid of that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, and especially if you're making multiple lineups, it just makes sense to have some exposure to that. Just give yourself a chance. If you're a multiple tournament player, give yourself some exposure to it. If you're playing cash games, then focus on the Dragon X and Invictus Gaming sort of route and V5, obviously. But and there's not really much question about who's going to play for each team. Again, these starters they might already be out. I haven't put them up on my Twitter page yet, but they'll be out sometime this afternoon on there, and you can follow either of us, like I said,
yeah.
And you can find them. I actually kind of like I don't mind the pricing for V5 too. They're not crazy expensive. So if you're doing something with the Dragon X V5, maybe you sprinkle in a little Hanwha, you'll be able to figure it out. You'll be able to get a lineup together. I haven't started constructing them yet, but yeah, I like V5 too. The big dick bot lane, that's pretty funny. Sam D and PP God, and then we got Doo over here so you know, one of these days we'll be able to play a lineup with PP God and Doo. How about that?
That is true.
And
that will happen.
And it'll be that South Park episode.
Well, or you could just do it tonight regardless, and even if it loses, at least you have a funny joke. So, like,
That's
enter a free contest. That's what you got to do. Enter a free contest.
Yes.
Make a really funny team like construction, and then just post it onto Twitter,
There you go.
and then
Boom.
say, "How did I not win?" And
How did I
then
not win? Yeah, maybe
yeah.
I'll maybe and you never know. Maybe you'll get a shout out on the video or something if you do it. Tag
I'm
us
gonna
in.
build that lineup right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make a free lineup. Do like the like you know how Al Zeidenfeld will make like his lineup where he plugs in one player and he's like, okay, like what
Yeah.
now?
Sure.
I'm just gonna do one of those right now and put it on Twitter and see if we can catch any people. But okay, next up we have Invictus Gaming and Billy Gaming. So yeah, this is a tough spot for me because again, I think that there is value on Billy Gaming for a real life bet because, like I've talked about this before, almost every single game, individual game in League of Legends, I think the highest you can go is like 70-30 or something like that because of the insane stuff that can happen in a draft, the insane stuff that can happen in the early game that just completely destroys the game for one team. Like any team is vulnerable to that kind of scenario.
Right.
Like literally every single team. And it's because of like how pick ban works and how League of Legends, like the snowball mechanics where you can just get a little lead and incrementally expand it over time. Right. So with Invictus Gaming, yes, I love Invictus Gaming more than most people because I like the
I don't love them.
Exactly, because the quote unquote horrible performances don't scare me at all. I just look at it differently.
Right.
So it's like in the NFL. Like if my quarterback throws 4 picks, I'm not like, oh, he's the worst player ever. Right. I'm just like, okay, whatever. He was trying to like chuck it deep.
Yeah. For me, it's just they just don't have these huge games. Even when they win, they're not a big fantasy scoring team. They've been like that since the last split. You know, you pick them, they win 2-0, and you're like, how did he only get 72? How did Rookie get 71 points and a 2-0 win? It's like,
but that's why
do something.
That's why for me, I have to be on them because I know that it's like inevitable. Like in League of Legends, the range of outcomes for the winning teams is like, a lot of it depends on the losing team. So if you think that Invictus Gaming is a team that's questionable to begin with, and then they're playing against a team that doesn't give up a lot of fantasy points, like I understand if you want to limit your exposure to them, but you need to get exposure to them as like your primary stack and secondary stack because they do have the ability to like go absolutely insane.
Right.
So like I get the like the hesitation.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would probably just power through that.
Gotcha.
So in the top lane, let me see if
I think King Jin is the one who's been playing recently. ADD hasn't played since the 18th.
Yeah, I was just gonna check to see if anybody posted it on Twitter because this is about the time we start getting stuff like that. Let's see.
Which I mean, if there's anything that we can thank China for, this is the only thing. Besides, they need to start making more Big Lots furniture. I want to try to get a TV stand. Can't get a damn thing at Big Lots right now here because they're not making more in China. But we do thank you for the early information in your LPL slates. That's it.
Yeah.
No hate mail for that. I think that's okay to thank them for that.
I think it will be the Shy against Kingen. I think obviously the Shy is a much better player than Kingen. In the jungle, we have Ning against Meteor. Like I said, Meteor is the kind of player who does have good upside. In their 2-0 victory over LNG, he scored 82 points, which isn't amazing for a jungler, but he does have additional upside past that point. So if Billy Gaming is able to beat Invictus Gaming or keep it close, they're the kind of team that will outperform their expected points.
Right.
Because Invictus Gaming is the kind of team where the kill score is going to blow up if they lose. Because they're going to continuously fight you.
Right. And you'll take 82 points at 6K. That's 15x. If you get 15x in your whole lineup, you're scoring, 750 points, and you're probably near the top. So.
Yeah. So, you're probably not going to get 15x from everybody. But if you get 15x from your underdog, then you're looking.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah. So, rookie against Fofo. Rookie's obviously the better player. I haven't been impressed by Fofo at all. Puff against Wings. Wings has looked good in some of their matches, and I hate Puff.
Me too.
And Southwind. I think that they're like obviously the glaring issue on Invictus Gaming right now.
Yes.
Some of their games, like, it's just shocking. Like, like how bad they're playing. People want to criticize the Shy because he has this like high octane playstyle that like he'll crash and burn sometimes, and it'll just look really bad. Puff has moments like that, not as like sustained as the Shy, but even worse is when Puff just like lays over and dies, or has like a horrible mechanical misplay in a team fight, or gets picked off in a random spot when two teams are like fighting around Baron or Dragon. And those things are much worse for your team than one random solo death by the Shy. So like if the Shy is being aggressive and dies, I can live with that because at least he's trying to create an advantage. With Puff, if he's like being super passive and just not playing intelligently, that's the kind of thing that will tilt me off the face of the earth.
Right.
So I think that if you believe in Invictus Gaming winning, he's probably going to be lower owned than he should be, because I think a lot of players like understand with Invictus Gaming you want the solo laners and then Ning and then probably Puff.
Yeah.
So maybe he goes under owned tonight, but I hate that. I hate that player for DraftKings personally.
Me too. And I hate Southwind too. I'll never play him again. I don't care. And just for the record, I mean, Billy Gaming gives up a ton of points to the support, apparently. I don't give a shit. Southwind, he's the most expensive, or the second most expensive support on the whole slate, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, not happening. Zero chance.
It's tough. It's tough rostering Southwind over the PP God.
I mean, it just doesn't make any damn sense. I'm taking the PP God at 5,400. Of course I am.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Pure
Kyle,
craziness.
you're a PP God.
Yeah, I'm taking the PP
Things you
God.
never thought you'd hear. Things you never thought you'd hear on this channel.
Swear to God, March 11th, if you'd have told me, hey, in July, you're going to be talking about PP God on a League of Legends video, I would have bet everything against that. And
You're like, oh, when did I have a stroke?
yeah, here we are. So when did I become Dick Clark? Apparently during that's terrible. I love Dick Clark, by the way, but he was terrible at counting after that. Just have to say that. That's gonna get me in trouble. Just a little bit. That's all right though. That's all right. I need a little bit of that in my life. Is there anything else on this game before we get the hell out of here?
No. So let's just do favorite team or something, and then that's good.
I mean, obviously Dragon X. I know that's the low hanging fruit, but I think the best chance for a 2-0 is Dragon X. I think they most likely 2-0 KT Rolster. And my favorite underdogs, Conway Life. Anybody against Sandbox, I will take. Like I said, I would take my dog with no thumbs against Sandbox. We call them Catbox in our chat. They're just fucking garbage. I can't do it. Yeah,
I can't disagree with you there. I think that those are probably the two good picks. So I'm just gonna go through the quick trends for each team, and then we can close it out. So DRX undefeated, they're moving in the right direction. Everybody has a positive opinion on them. KT Rolster, much worse. They're playing much worse than last season, and they have a bunch of roster issues. So I think DraftKings players in general have a low opinion, and that's trending downward. LNG trending downward. V5 skyrocketing upwards compared to what we thought they were going to be this season. Right. So LNG is potentially a spot where you can get contrarian. I do think that they're somewhat live dog. If they can beat FPX, they can beat V5. That's basically how I'm looking at it. My only problem is that I don't know if V5 is going to be willing to have a spectacular loss, where it's they give up 25 kills.
They haven't been doing that. They've been one of the more, I guess for the lack of a better word, defensive LPL teams this year. They're number 1, 2 in terms of points allowed in several positions.
Yeah, so the way that we normally talk about that in League of Legends is macro focused, because it's they're more focused on taking the objective and then getting out of there, as opposed to forcing a fight around the objective. Billy Gaming and Invictus Gaming. So Billy Gaming is trending upwards because Meteor is back and players will have positive feelings from their last match. Invictus Gaming, I think, is still the same. I think everyone's afraid of Invictus Gaming because they know that they can beat anybody and lose against anybody.
Right.
So even though I think they're one of the best teams in the world, I think that the DraftKings community has a lower opinion of them than they should, which always attracts me towards Invictus Gaming, even with the concerns that you mentioned, where it's they can have a kind of letdowns.
Sure.
And then Sandbox against Humble Life. I think Sandbox the public perception is trending in the upward direction because of Yamato Cannon, because they won their last match. And then Humble Life, I think, is staying the same, if not getting worse, because they continuously lose these matches. Right. So that's another spot that I'm looking to be contrarian to the public perception.
Yeah, I completely agree. Again, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down there in the comment section if you desire to do so. Check out Mike's channel. The link to that is right there in the video description below. Our Twitter handles are there. For those of you who just stop by, I get lots of those. Hey, I don't play this, but I stopped by to support the channel. We will see you very shortly for NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB. All that stuff will be covered here as well. And I'm actually looking for somebody to come do MLB with me because I don't like to talk baseball by myself.
Me neither. I don't like talking baseball at all.
Yeah, me neither. But, we've had and typically I just focus on WNBA during the summer and kind of just blow Major League Baseball off because it's all strikeouts and home runs. It's kind of garbage. It's kind of for the mass enterers to just let the people who mass enter, they're the ones who are going to get all the money. But it's been a different kind of year, so we're going to try to offer everything that we possibly can. We appreciate all your support. Again, may the fantasy gods, who Mike scowls on a daily basis, be with you.
Or they're just not real. I mean,
or they're not real. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I've been watching the new Unsolved Mysteries, man. There's some interesting those interesting UFO sightings in 1969. I'll tell you what, in Massachusetts.
69, nice.
Nah, 69, nice. Again, thank you all so much for all your support. Really, really do appreciate it. Cheers again to you all, and we're gonna be back at this tomorrow. You got time tomorrow?
Sure.
Make it happen tomorrow. I'm gonna try to. I know my sister's trying to make me go to the lake, so maybe it could be a little bit earlier in the morning. You got time for that? We'll see.
Who knows?
We'll sort it out. If not, I'll see you the day after. I'm doing the best we can, but we're almost back to normal. Again, thank you all so much. Goodbye, folks.
See ya.